Let's have another example. This time it involves a don't care, which is example number 4 in your handouts. Okay. Take note, don't cares. In Carnomap, when a K-map involves a don't care can be 1 or 0. So when you are getting the SOP, meaning you group all the ones, your X has a value of 1. So when you group all the zeros, meaning you're getting the POS or the product of sum, your X has a value of 0. So you will notice we have here 1, 1. Without including or without combining it with the X or the don't cares, you will notice we are going to have only two ones, meaning we group it by pair. But since we have a don't care in here, we can make a group bigger. So meaning that now becomes by 4 instead of by 2, and therefore the function that you're going to have will be much reduced. Okay? So in Quine-McCluskey or in Tabular, again we start off with converting all these implicants into its binary form. Again, this is 4 bits. So we start off with 2 to the 0, 2 to the 1, etc. Or simply this is 1, 2, 4, and 8. Again, we simply think of a numbers to be added from 1, 2, 4, 8. In such a way, you're going to have a sum of 0, 8, 9, etc. So for 0, definitely, it would be 0 ones. For 8, we have 1 here. For 9, we have to add 8 and 1. So why? Because 8 plus 1 is 9. So that makes it 2 ones. For 10, we have to add 8 plus 2, 10. So therefore, we're going to have 2 ones. For 13, we have 8 plus 4, 12, plus 1 is 13, so we have 3 ones. For 15, definitely we're going to have 4 ones. For 2, we have 1, 5, 4, and 1, so we have 2. For 7, we have 4, plus 2, 6, plus 1 is 7, so we have 3. Then, in part 1, note again that what we are getting in part 1 is the prime implicants. And in part 1, the don't cares are included. Okay, just like in K-map, you include the X in getting the SOP or the POS. Okay, so at column A, we will be grouping implicants according to the occurrence of ones per implicants or the number of ones each implicant contains. So we start off with 0 with no ones. Write a dividing line. Implicants with 1 ones, that is 8 and 2. So we're going to have 2 and 8. Write a dividing line. With 2 ones, we have 9, 10, and 5. So we have 5, 9, and 10. Then we have 13 and 7, 7, 13. And then we have, by 4, we have 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then next, we go to column B. So in column B, you try to compare adjacent groups. So 0, 2, 0, 8 by getting the difference. Then 2, 5, 2, 9, 2, 10, 8, 5, 8, 9, 8, 10. You do it that way. We have 5, 7, 5, 13, etc. Okay? So, let's start. So, 0 minus 2 is 2. Take note, 2 is in powers of 2 and the difference is negative. So, we can use it. So, we put a tick mark. So, we write 0, 2, and the difference enclosed in parentheses. Then 0 minus 8 is 8. Again, 8 is in powers of 2 and we have 8 there. So 0, 8, a difference of 8. Since we're done with the two groups, the first two groups, we write a dividing line. Next, we go to the next group. 2 minus 5 is 3. So, cannot be because it is not in powers of 2. 2 minus 9 is 7. Same thing. 2 minus 10 is 8. So, that's in powers of 10. So, we write 2, 10, a difference of 8. Then, we proceed. We go now to 8. So, 8 minus 5, 3. Cannot be. 8 minus 9 is 1. So, 8, 9, a difference of 1. Put a tick mark. Then, 8, 10. 2, 8, 10, a difference of 2. Since we're done, we put a dividing line. Next, we proceed with the next another two groups. So, 5 minus 7 is 2. 5, 7, a difference of 2. So, put a tick mark, tick. Okay? So, 5, 13 is 8. So, 5 minus 13 is 8. Okay? Next, 9, 7, 2. Cannot be, though that is in powers of 2 since 9 is greater than 7. Okay, it should be lower. The difference should be negative. Then 9, 13 is 4. So you put a tick mark. Then your next is 10. 10, 7 is 3. Cannot be. 10, 13, 3 cannot be. So next, you write a dividing line. Next, we combine naman. We compare 7 and 15. So, 7, 15, a difference of 8. So, you put a tick mark. 13, 15, a difference of 2. A difference of 2. Okay, let me clear this out. So, that's 8. Okay, a difference of 2. Okay, since we're done, we go now to column C. In column C, same thing, you compare the adjacent groups, but then you can only compare those sets with same difference. So, meaning, the 2 in here can only be compared with the 2 in here, 8 with 8. So, your 8 here can also be compared. Okay, your 8 here can only be compared with 8 here, 2 with 2 here. Okay, the next, we have 2 here, so you can only compare it with the 2 there, and 8 here. Okay, so we proceed. So, we compare here with this one because both has same difference, which is 2. Then, we compare again the new difference, meaning to say, if we're going to convert it to binary, they will be differing on 2 positions, aside from 2, and then next would be the new, to which 0 minus 8 is 8. So, meaning, the new difference would be 8. So, they will be differing in 2 positions for column C. So, you're going to write this time. You're going to write it as 0, 2, 8, 10. 0, 2, 8, 10. A difference of 2. 0 minus 8 is 8. Again, take note, you have to arrange them or write them in ascending order. Okay? The next, with the 8 here, both 8. So, you would notice that is written, written as 0, 8, 2, 10, and yet, we have to write it in ascending order again. So, 0, 2, 8, 10. 0 minus 2 is 2, take note. So, we have 2 difference for the new, and for the previous, that's 8. So, you may actually write it as A2, but then, you will notice if you have several sets under column C, that will be very difficult in your part to assess or to check which among those set of numbers are exactly the same. Okay? So, take note in column C, set of numbers come in pairs. Okay? So, for column A, that is grouped by 1. This one is grouped by 2. This one is grouped by 4. Then we'll continue. Okay. So 2 in here will also be compared with 2 in there. So 5 minus 13 is 8. So write the dividing line because that is another group. 5 minus 13 is 8. Now, why is it? Okay. You proceed in here. You will notice 8 and 8 here. Diba you have here 8 and 8. Supposedly, you're going to compare the two, but you will notice 2 minus 5 is 3. 3 is not in powers of 2. So, meaning to say, we cannot choose this one. So, let's try this one. 8 minus 5 is also 3. And besides, 8 is greater than 5. So, no comparisons, no set of numbers here can be used because their differences are not in powers of 2. So, you write the dividing line, then we proceed with the next. This one, you compare it in here. So, 5 minus 13 is 8. And 8 is in powers of 2. So, again, we write the numbers in ascending order. We have 5, 7, 13, and 15. 5, 7, 13, and 15. Okay, so the difference is 2. And 5 minus 13 is 8. Okay, so you put a tick mark. I'm sorry, you should have put a tick mark in here. Okay, the next is 8 here. So 5 minus 7 is 2. Okay, so that's 2 is in powers of 2. So therefore, that will be written as 5, 7, 5, 7, 13, and 15. Difference is 8, but then the new difference is 5 minus 7 is 2. So, going to write it as 2 and 8. Okay? So, you will notice both sets are also the same. Again, we'll try to get column D. We have here 2, 8, 2, 8. Okay? So, we can compare the two. 0 minus, okay, this will be treated as 1. So, 0 minus 5, okay, 0 minus 5 is negative 5. It's not in powers of 2. So, therefore, we stop at column C. So, we are not going to have column D. Okay, so if we're going to associate it with the key mapping, you will notice we have here two groups of 4. Okay, so one group in here, another group in here. Okay, so this one, this is the green group, whereas this one, this is the red group. Okay, so we have two groups. This one is 0 to 810, 0 to 810, and then this one is 5, 7, 13, and 15. Okay, so we now proceed with part 2. In part 2, okay, in part 2, okay, we're going to get the essential prime implicants. What are these essential prime implicants? Are those set of numbers which do not have a tick mark. Okay, so meaning to say those numbers not taken, okay, or not covered. Okay, so what are these? So we have here this one. This is another asterisk. This one. and then this 4 here, and this one here. Okay, so we label it as W, X, Y, Z. That can be any letter or letters. Okay, so the next, in part 2, we now draw the matrix. The first row would be the implicants. But this time, the don't cares will not be included anymore. Only the min term. So we have here our min terms. We have here 0, 8, 9, 10, 13, and 15. So we write the dividing line. Okay, we have here W, X, Y, and Z. So we have here W, X, Y, and Z. Okay. Okay, then for W, we have 8, 9. Okay, we put a cross under columns 8 and 9. And then for X, we have 9 and 13. For Y, we have 0 to 8, 10. 0 to 8, 10. 2 is a don't care. This is not included in here. So we have only 0 to 8 and 10. Then the last 5, 7, 13, 15. 5, 7, 13, and 15. Okay. Then next, we put a tick at the bottom row. So 0 has 1 X, so check. That also includes the X's belonging to same group. So that would be 8 and 10. Okay, because they belong to group Y. Then for 9, we have 2 X's, so that cannot be cannot be selected as of now. Then same thing with 13. For 15, we have 1 X, so therefore we put a check mark. Since we checked this one, we also check the number 13 because both belongs to group Z. Okay, so we have only number 9 which do not have a check mark. Then after which, we now determine the essential prime implicants. In getting the essential prime implicants, there are 2 requirements. One is all X's should have a check at the bottom row. And then the second requirement is one of the X's, or one of which, is the only X, or the don't care, or rather the only the X contained on that particular column. Okay, so for W, we have check, but the X here has no check mark, so cannot be for the meantime. For X, no check. This one, no check, so cannot be. For Y, we have check, check, check. Okay, it actually passed the first requirement. The second requirement is one of these 3 X's should be the only X along that column. Okay, so that one is the only X in under column 0, so therefore Y is an essential prime implicants. For Z, check, check. Okay, this one has another X, but this X here is the only X along 15. Okay, so therefore this is also essential. Okay, then next, we check if all these ones are already grouped or taken by simply encircling the number. For y, it covers 0, 8, and 10. For z, it covers 13. Okay, it covers 13 and 15. So you would notice number 9 is not yet grouped or covered. So we go back to the prime implicants which are not covered, are not selected, which are W and X. You will notice both W and X covers number 9. So meaning to say, we can choose either. Okay? So meaning, our answer could be Y plus Z plus W. Okay? Or this W can be replaced by X. So that could be Y plus Z plus W or Y plus Z plus X. We're not yet done. The next, we convert or we choose one implicant per group. So for Y, it covers 0, 8, and 10. So we choose 0. Okay. For Z, it could be 13 or 15. Again, we choose 15. Then for W, we choose 9 for both numbers. Okay. So, again, we convert this to binary. So this will be using the code 8421. Definitely, that is 0. So this will all be zeros. 15, all ones. Why? Because 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 15. Plus 9 is, we add 8 and 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. So that would be 1, 0, 0, 1. 1, 2, 4, 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. Same thing in here. Okay. The next, we go back to part 1 and look at the difference for cancellation. For y, we're going to cancel 2 and 8. Same thing with z. 2 and 8 for the difference. So we cancel 2, 8. So 1, 2, 4, 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. For w, the difference is 1. Okay? So 1. That is 2, 8. Okay. Then for x, it's 4. 1, 2, 4. Okay. Then we convert this now into its min term. So let's call this as L, SOP. Okay. So the literals we used is A, B, C, D. Okay. So this would be A, B, C, D. Okay. So therefore, this is cancel, cancel. B is 0, D is 0. So therefore, that would be not B and not D. Okay. So not B and not D, because both are zeros. Whereas in here, if this is A, B, C, D, all are ones. So therefore, this is A, B. So that would be B, C, D. So that would be D. Plus, this is A. Okay. So let me write it. So this would be A, B, C. Okay. So that would be A, since that is 0, not B, since that is 0, not C. Or, this one is also A, B, C, D. So, therefore, this is A, cancel. The B is cancel, not C because that is 0, and this will be D. Okay, so your final answer would be not B and D plus BD plus A, not B and not C, or not B and not D plus BD plus A, not C, and D. Okay. If we are going to compare it with our K-map, both SOPs are the same. So, we have here two groups of 4 and then one group of 2. Okay, so for the red group, that actually are these ones here, 1, 1, 1, X at the corner. So if you're going to fold the paper, that will look like this one. So not B and not DY. Again, this is A is written down here. So that will be, the ones will be plotted sideward. So this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. So for the red group, it occupies 0, 0, and 1, 0 for A and B. Okay. So 0, 1 here, that's A. 0, 0 here is B. So 0, 1 cancel, 0, 0 would be not B. For CD, it occupies columns 0, 0, and 1, 0. 0, 1 cancel, 0, 0 would be not D. Why not D? Because that is 0 and that is min term. Recall that in min term, the normal value is 1. For group green, it occupies rows 0, 1, and 1, 1. Again, 0, 1 cancel. 1, 1 here is B. That's why you have here B. For columns, you have two columns here. 0, 1, and then 1, 1. 0, 1 cancel. So 1, 1, that is D. For the one in here, you may opt to group this one here with this one here, or you may group it with one here. Okay? So if you opt to group it here, this will occupy two rows, 1, 1, and 1, 0. 1, 1, that will be your A. 1, 0 is cancel. So 0, 1, that would be not C and D. Okay? But if you going to group this one in here, so the min term equivalent will be, that would be A, not B, because that is 0, and then it occupies two columns, 0, 0, and 0, 1. 0, 0 would be not C, and 0, 1 is cancel. So the final answer would be not B and not D plus BD plus A and not CD, or not B and not D plus BD plus A and not B and not C.